men, but not men of a certain race, because I don't
Right.
think that the races are as different as you think they are. You think one is good and one is evil. That's what you said in your piece.
I didn't at all say that in the piece, and if you can cite that, I'd be very happy to see it. But
Well,
but what I did
said
say,
you can't trust them.
I did say no. I did
got
say
it.
that, and I
All
think
right.
in the
I don't know
same
if we're
way.
making headway, but I'm going to give you. I asked you a question. Can you answer it? How would you feel if I wrote that piece?
No, forgive me. You asked me a question, and I returned the question, so I want to conclude on that. Look, in the same way that you will teach your daughters to be careful around men until they prove that they can be gentlemen, if somebody said, "Oh my God, that's outrageous. Tucker Carlson is teaching his daughters that men are evil," that would be laughable.
You're
What
conflating
teaching your
sex
daughters,
with race.
Forgive me.
Because, no, you forgive me,
no,
because we acknowledge differences between the sexes, but not significant ones between the races. And so that's sophism, what you're doing right
I don't think it's sophism at all.
Of course it is.
I find it remarkable that you can live in the America we live in and pretend that we oughtn't see that racial lines are equally divisive.
That's not what I was saying. I said, would you be okay with me writing this piece to my children if the races were reversed? You haven't answered the question.
Because the facts are different, Tucker.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
listen,
because one good's bad, one's good. All right, got it.
That's absurd. If I don't teach my boys how to be cautious, how to be careful, how to be perceived in the right way, I'm not just risking their feelings being hurt. I'm risking their bodies being broken.
Should I teach my kids that?
You don't teach your daughters to be cautious until they can be sure that the men around them are trustworthy? Tell me.
That's not what the conversation is about. It's not about sex. It's about race.
Right.
And no, I don't teach them that there are dramatic differences between the races because I'm not a bigot.
So to be sure, it's fine for you to care for your daughters and make sure that they're healthy and well. But if I care for my sons in the same way...
That is sophism, ladies and gentlemen. We're out of time.
Tucker had a piece that this gentleman had written. And Tucker was trying to explain to the gentleman that, you know, if you read this piece, it says that you can, one race is good and the other race is bad. That's what he said. And the gentleman said, like, I didn't write that. So Tucker looked at his piece because he had it in front of him and said, well, you said you can trust one race, but you can't trust another. And the gentleman said, that's not what I meant. So he went in to explain to Tucker what he meant. And he said, let's say with your daughters, if you taught your daughters that to not trust men until they have proven to be gentlemen, you know, would someone question that you were teaching your daughters that? And then Tucker said that he's conflating sex with race. That's, you know, Tucker was not talking about sex. He's talking about his article that is talking about race. And Tucker went into saying that there is a difference between, they acknowledge that there's a difference between sex, but there's not a significant difference between race. And so they went in kind of in back and forth and discussing that. I found the interview very interesting. I'd be curious to read his article. I'd like to read his article. I think I'd find it. I go, you know, find it and see what he wrote and what he was trying to share in that article.